really big topic. We are talking about all things water resources, quality, technology, innovation, and I think we could spend this entire conversation and really the whole day on any one of these questions, but we're going to try and keep it a little bit brief and concise, and then maybe we'll be able to pull a question or two from the audience if you guys are game, so we can make it a little bit fun. So as Ken mentioned, my name is Mallory Schupp. I direct the transportation and water markets for Ulteig, which is a critical infrastructure firm. We work in power, renewables, transportation, and water, which is where I like to play. We offer a wide range of water and wastewater engineering, automation, and cyber security services. And I've been working in infrastructure planning and design in Colorado and throughout the Mountain West for over a decade. It's my favorite place in the world. I think a lot of people feel that way. So very excited to be talking about Colorado and the Mountain West at this whole conference, which has been really fun and engaging. In our Colorado and Mountain West communities, water is really at the center of daily conversations, even among lay people. Where will we get it? How do we sustain it once we do get it? Once we have it, how do we make sure it's fit to serve our communities? And how do we keep it secure? And on and on and on. Really, swaths of the Mountain West are experiencing extreme water stress each year. And so in keeping with the urgency around these conversations, I'm thrilled to introduce this very wonderful panel of experts to help us ideate and really start to think about a sustainable and equitable future for water. And we really need these experts because even though we drink water every day, I hope, most of us don't know very much about it. So we'll start with Ben Bentz. Mr. Ben Bentz has been with the Environmental Protection Agency for 23 years, really? You don't look it, okay. It's a long time. And serving in multiple capacities currently as branch manager with the agency's water division in the Denver Regional Office, and he oversees $1 billion a year of water infrastructure funding to states, tribes, and other federal partners. We have Aaron Foraker. Aaron Foraker is the acting senior advisor of hydropower, which oversees the Bureau of Reclamation's reliability compliance, hydropower policies, and strategic initiatives. She has served in many ways over her years at the Bureau of Reclamation, including power operations, maintenance, and asset management, and many more capacities. Scott Tate is a water resources project manager for the town of Castle Rock. He's lived and worked there for the past 7 years, previously working across the Northeast, Midwest, and Southern United States in water and environmental engineering. Scott currently leads challenging water and wastewater projects for conveyance and disinfection residual management for the town of Castle Rock's distinguished utility, Castle Rock Water. So let's give another round of applause for our panelists. Get them revved up for this exciting conversation. Thank you. So we'll start with a really big question, and maybe you guys can use this time as well to share a little bit about your organization's position and vision within water more generally. But when it comes to water in Colorado and really the Mountain West, what is your vision of success? So really paint a picture for us. We'll start with Ben.
Hi, thank you for that introduction. Hello, everybody. For a vision then, very big picture and a very big question. Appreciate that. EPA's approach to and vision for the water future is the same in Colorado as our vision in any other state across the country. It is healthy aquatic ecosystems, healthy drinking water for all, right? And we, at the current time, we have a number of ways that we're encouraging that through climate-resistant investments, strong investments in the water infrastructure that can be resilient to those things in Colorado that are special to Colorado, right? Floods, wildfires, long terms of drought, heavy precipitation, and then nothing, right? So that is, one way is getting that climate resistance investment, those long-term investments. We're hoping that over time, everyone paying their water bill, those ratepayers, the citizens here, it will probably take a mindset change of they need to see when they pay that water bill, it is an investment in their health in their community. It's an investment in the health of their friends and family that live in that area, and that probably be a very difficult hurdle for people to get over when we're just looking at the dollars and cents of what we're paying for water. And the last thing for the current term right now is every community that needs help should be listened to or gets listened to and is guided towards the assistance that is kind of custom fit for their needs, right? And this is actually an activity and a pursuit that Colorado's state revolving fund program has been doing for years. They are absolutely adamant about matching communities with the right size and of loans or financial packages that can ease that burden, ease the financial burden. I didn't say eliminate, I said ease the financial burden, but they are looking at every case and every project in those small communities to try to find the right blend. And that is your strongest source for being able to find those actual financial mechanisms through the state SRF. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the real cost of water. We could probably talk about that for the whole time too. Scott, over to you.
At Castle Rock Water, our vision is to serve our customers. We have about 80,000 customers, and we want to do that with innovation. We have a strategic plan to serve the customers and those in the community, and you can find it on our website. We actually have a long-term water plan with a vision to have water conservation. One of the key elements of that is that for all new development in Castle Rock, we've eliminated front lawn turf to cut down irrigation. You can see from our numbers that in the winter, we almost double, triple sometimes the water flow in the summer. So we believe that irrigation, green grass is important to a lot of people, but front lawns is a necessity to cut down demand. We also have a groundwater plan. Right now we have a good number of wells that go to the Denver Basin, and we are working with EPA for the aquifer storage and recharge system, where we would actually put water back down hole and store water there for us in the future. We also we're importing supplies from around the region. We work with the WISE Consortium to get water from Aurora and other places with the South Metro. We have a strategic planning process where we have this plan online and we're planning for it. We also have a responsible plan to pay for it. We do a billing now, a line item on the bill where you're paying it forward for us to purchase new renewable water sources. And then piggybacking more on the storage, we're putting in a new reservoir. We have down in the Sedalia area, we have the storage capacity in Rudder Hess, and we also have storage capacity in the Chatfield Reservoir. So we're backing up our vision with a plan, and that's the highlights of the plan.
Thank you, Scott. Erin, over to you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. So I'll give you a little overview of the Bureau of Reclamation, and for those of you who aren't familiar, but we are the largest wholesaler of power and largest wholesaler of water in the United States, as well as the second largest hydropower producer. We cover the 17 western United States, and now I'll narrow down into Colorado specifically. A couple of our projects are the Frying Pan, Arkansas here on the eastern slope, and then the Uncompadre on the western slope, but we have many more. When I think of the vision for Colorado, really what I think about is using every drop in a responsible manner while balancing the environment and ecosystem issues. The bill and IRA funding, those bills that were passed by Congress really set us on that path to achieve those visions. To do that, we need to really invest in our aging infrastructure before we have failures, create new infrastructure where that makes sense and where we need it, use technologies to improve our water supply predictions, especially here in Colorado, so we understand the snow melt and how much of that makes it into our river systems, as well as state and local policies that are very responsive to the, to the current needs and current conditions. Just a couple examples for Colorado. Some of those investments for us are the Arkansas Valley conduit in the southeastern portion of our state, as well as building a new Leadville water treatment facility for the mine drainage up there.
Awesome. Thank you all for painting that picture for me. So now we'll get into technology. The stereotype is that government is slow when it comes to leveraging technology to advance the infrastructure our communities rely on. How do you see water and wastewater leaders fighting against that trend and staying ahead of the curve? We'll start again with Ben.
Thanks. As much as I'd like to form a rebuttal around the stereotype piece, I'll just focus on how we're staying ahead of the curve, if that's okay. And so we have a number of tools available and have since 2015, or even prior to that. It was required after 2015 with the WIN Act. So I'm going to list a few of the tools, and for viewers on YouTube as well, so they can jot these down and Google them and get to them if it fits for you. We have National Centers for Innovation in Small Drinking Water Systems, right? And these provide information on cost effectiveness, innovation, alternative technologies for drinking water delivery systems, and also well systems as well. How many times could I say well? Okay, the second tool we have it's called the Drinking Water Treatment Technology Unit Cost Models. Okay, these are models that can help the public water systems assess cost effectiveness with what technologies they want to apply to their system. And the third I have here is Wastewater Technology Center. This again provides educational materials and services to help communities. And it's for all capacities, all sizes. And the name of that is called Searchable Clearinghouse of Wastewater Technology. Okay. And also, just as a final remark, because I'm a big fan of the state SRF programs, the EPA's State Revolving Fund program policies have always encouraged technology innovation and investments in technology. So if that is something your community is interested in, it is definitely something that you can find financial help with, loans and grants from your state SRF. Thank you.
Okay. Stereotype eradicated. Okay, moving on to you, Scott.
Well, Castle Rock Water has a world-class water treatment plant called Plum Creek Water Purification Facility. It's essentially everything but RO, and so we want to build on that. Innovation that we have. I work. My present project portfolio consists mainly of conveyance projects, and so I try to blend in innovation with those. And I can highlight three of them. The first is that when development comes in, the water runs downhill, sewage runs downhill, and there's a lift station that pumps it back uphill to the sewage treatment plant. We have a lift station that was built in '03, and it's high head, so it requires 300 feet ahead, 330 feet ahead. So the engineers designed in 2 pump trains, each with 2 pumps. And so we found over the years that we could incorporate better technology, variable frequency drives. We went with 1 pump instead of 2 for each train. And we cut down the horsepower by 50 horsepower in each one. So that's one of the innovations, is the technology around pumping and electronics and the VFDs. The second is that at our lift stations, we tend to transport water or wastewater long distances. So we have a couple that transport 2 miles, and the retention time in the force main can be 6 hours or so. So it kind of cooks in the force main, and so when you dump that down into a gravity sewer, there's odors. So we've been working on an innovative project to seed pack beds in the wet well, and with sulfur oxidizing microbes to remove the sulfur, so we don't produce H2S and odorous compounds. And then the third is that the topography in Castle Rock is pretty variable. We have buttes and So we have a lot of up and downs and in the topography. And we also have a lot of tanks and things that were built by developers. So we have a special situation up on a butte where we have a fill and draw, 2 tanks, two 2 million gallon tanks. And the water can get stale up there. So we're working on a novel mixing system to keep the water from going stale. It's almost, it mixes, the mixers we're putting in mix bulk and the local fluid together. And the device is not an impeller, but it's, I would say it's like it's almost, you can almost call it biomimicry in that it looks like a seashell. And they found, the vendor found that if you turn a seashell around and around, it'll mix much better than some of the mechanical impellers. So we're installing that. So those are 3 things that I'm working on in innovation in the water and wastewater area at Castle Rock. And and Castle Rock supports that. We want to be a leader, and we're putting practice in play.
Thanks for sharing that, Scott. Over to you, Erin.
All right, I can talk about the implementation of science and technology all day. This is very near and dear to my heart, so you might have to stop me, Mallory. But anyhow, so at Reclamation, we have a $20 million science and technology program that helps us investigate new technologies and implement those across our mission areas. But we have other programs as well. So we have a desalination and water purification program, which is funding opportunities with external organizations to develop new water treatment technologies and advance that research. We have other types of research we do. So recently in the IRA funding, there was $25 million given to us to investigate and deploy solar over canals in conjunction with some of the partners we work with. We've also investigated the use of hydrokinetics in our canal systems, recently partnering with Denver Water here and back in the 2018, 2019 timeframe. So I'll probably stop there, but locally to Colorado, we've given several desalination water purification grants to look at water reuse, and also advance PFAS research.
Thanks, Erin. If anyone wants to go out for a drink with Erin after this, she can keep talking about technology and innovation. Okay, moving on to water quality, an increasingly pressing concern, particularly with new EPA standards and expanding public scrutiny and attentiveness. What are the best approaches to addressing both critical and day-to-day issues around quality, and how can water leaders responsibly inform and empower the public about water quality issues that affect them? Maybe we'll start with Erin this time.
All right, so I talked a little bit about our water desalination and purification program, but really I think here in Colorado, the biggest contribution that we have is and will be our new Leadville mine storage treatment facility, because we will implement state-of-the-art technologies to introduce clean waters into the headwater of the Arkansas River. In addition to that, though, the Arkansas Valley Conduit in the southeastern portion of the state will carry clean drinking water to that part of our state. So I think that's our biggest contribution here in Colorado.
Thanks, Erin. Scott?
We have on our website pages dedicated to water quality, where we talk about taste and odor, other contaminants, things like that, and provide the public information. We also publish our test results. So right now, if you were to go to the water quality page at crgov.com, you would be able to see our data from 2022 that's been posted for all the different physical and chemical and biological monitoring constituents. So we're very public about it. We want to be transparent about it And so we do put that out there.
Thank you, Scott. Ben?
Thanks. So for EPA, the challenge is trying to find a way to help the public understand that the water quality standards were made out of the best interest of their health. And I think all of us, as regulators, do struggle with kind of that filtering of the information, right? We have our website is saturated with outreach materials specific to the water quality standards and how to engage with public as well. Really, it's all over the place, right? There's tons of it, and there's so much that it's almost hard to find what you need. And I think our focus ought to be on how we whittle that down, how we narrow it to the special circumstances of the community that we might be engaging with from specific moment. We as water people, we have our own language, right? And we all know it when we talk with one another. But once you go outside this hotel, anybody on the 16th Street Mall, ask them about aquifer recharge. Ask them what they think source water means, and you'll get blank stares, right? So our ability to try to use the language of the communities and get that message across, it's a constant challenge. For years and years, all agencies, regulators have been working on it. And a manager in the environmental justice and a strong advocate for public participation, public engagement, really, which is different than participation, had mentioned something yesterday that he told me that our work of addressing water quality can be more valuable if we use the language and if we see the impact through the lens of the community that we're about to serve and engage with. So,
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Ken, I think Ben just decided our next plan for Infra Day, which is to go out to the 16th Street Mall and to ask people questions about water infrastructure. I love that. So we don't only have a couple minutes left, so maybe a quick answer to this, and then we can maybe grab one more question from the audience. As the saying goes, whiskey is for drinking and water is for fighting, and the water resource fight has intensified, particularly as an increasing number of Colorado communities experience water stress. How do you view our current water resource conditions, and what practices and policies will have the most impact on our water supply sustainability? Let's start with Scott.
Well, I would take a page from the Colorado Climate Center. With global warming, the latest data shows that the temperatures continue to go up, and there's certainty with that. If you look at the reusable water, the rainfall data, the trend is down some, but there is uncertainty what's going to happen with that. So, for the long range, the long term, we're not 100% certain what's going to happen to rainfall, and so that's an uncertainty we have to deal with right now in water resources.
Let's go to Erin.
So my answer is around the next couple of years, and here in Colorado, I think the answer is it depends. If you're on the eastern slope, we've had a good snowpack, and that is resulting in some full reservoirs this year. The western slope, a little bit drier conditions, but it has had good snowpack. It's just that water isn't making it into the river systems. When it comes to the sustainability, I mean, the real answer is every single one of us has a big role to play in a sustainable future, but all of the agencies, federal, state, local, municipalities, we all have a role to work together to really implement a vision for sustainability in the state.
Thanks, Erin. Ben?
That's a great point, Erin. Thank you.
Yeah.
For EPA, our practices and policies, our strongest water supply sustainability policies and practices are implemented through, again, state revolving fund programs, right? It is ingrained in how they prioritize and look at projects. It's ingrained in how they will help communities design the projects. They can work in financial incentives, lower rates, forgivable loans to a certain degree, grants and lower interest rates, of course, which is always the proponent or the factor within state revolving fund that can be specifically targeted towards elements of your project that are about energy efficiency, water reuse, aquifer recharge, and things along water conservation. So already fully ingrained in there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we are just out of time, so we won't have time for an audience question. However, I'm sure these guys will be more than willing to entertain as many questions as you have after this. Thank you so much again to our wonderful panelists, and thank you to Ken for inviting us.